Hey guys, it is me again. Sorry about the delay in the computer. Today is what, Monday, March the 5th. Makes it day 65 on our Daily Bread Project 2012. Sure does. Again, guys, talking about the crazy weather. Uh, and a lot of you guys may be having the same weather, but it was 70 here Friday. By Saturday, it dropped from 70s to 40s. Sunday, it was in 30s and snow, and it snowed a little bit yesterday. Today, it's been in the 30s, and it snowed overnight just a little bit. Not by up in the morning today, even all the snow that it snowed last night was gone. So, uh, but what I'm trying to get at is, so it was cold today. Supposed to be in the mid 50s tomorrow. Supposed to be in the mid 60s Wednesday. And supposed to be in the 70s, possibly mid 70s Thursday. And I didn't look past Thursday. Probably by Saturday it'll be back down in the 30s again. I've never seen such crazy weather in my life. I've never seen the temperature. I mean, you kind of expect to have, we're in March now. You expect to have storms and wind blowing and some snow. And I mean, you expect it to be a little crazy. But I've never in my life seen the weather, the temperature mainly. Like I said, the weather doing all this other stuff, yeah, we've seen that before. But I've never seen the temperature fluctuate, go from so cold to so warm or so warm to so cold, like overnight, as much as it's done this year. I know you see that every now and then, but anyway, guys, that kind of reminds me into a prayer request. I want you guys to pray for all these tornado victims. Like I said, I know there was tornado people killed, and I didn't realize it, but as close as about an hour, I guess, away from here, um, there's it's north. I think north east of us is you get into Paintsville. They call it. It's a little town. It's where my Snap-on man is actually from. You've got Paintsville and Prestonsburg. Well, it's on north of Prestonsburg, but you got Paintsville and some of these other little towns, and you about 30 or 40 miles or minutes from it. You've got West Liberty. Anyway, just in that little area there, that's kind of where the mountains, because West Liberty's pretty flat. They don't really have any mountains like we do. Right in that area is where you really, I guess, you started considering it really Eastern Kentucky, and start getting into the mountains. Because by the time you get to Paintsville, like I said, and that's just like I said, about 35, 40 minutes away, uh, you're getting into the mountains. I mean, you're in mountains. So what I'm trying to say, guys, down in our West Liberty, there's been a bunch killed. I think between West Liberty and Paintsville, my Snap-on man was telling me today there was 20 some, maybe even up. They've not even found everybody yet. Maybe even up in the 30s, people dead. Uh, and like I said, we didn't get it here. Like I said, that's an hour away or less than an hour away. We got rain and it's a little bit of high winds, but nothing bad. Uh, so let's just pray for all these people, guys. The ones here in Kentucky and Ohio and Indiana, like I said, everywhere. There's a little town, and I think I mentioned this the other night, just north of, just as soon as you go into the Indiana, well, about 20 minutes or something, like from Louisville. Louisville's, right at the top of Kentucky, right on the edge. It borders, Indiana. Uh, there's a little town over there. I don't even remember the name of it now, but I mean, they said it was just completely gone. The whole town was. It destroyed the whole town. So let's pray for all these people, guys. And the Snap-on man was telling me about one, and I know every life that's lost and things like that. I mean, that's tragic. No, no matter who it is, But he was telling me about today. His wife actually called him and was telling him this while I was on his truck. And this is just extra hard. There was a family that had a teenage daughter. I think she said she was about 17, and she died a year ago. Last Friday, when these tornadoes hit, actually was a year. It made a year since she died. I don't know how she died. I'm assuming she had some kind of sickness, probably cancer, because he said they were having a benefit for her Friday. to raise money to pay for her parents to pay some of the bills and stuff left by her. So that's the reason I'm figuring it was cancer or something like that. You know, if she'd got killed in a car wreck or something quick, you know, there'd have been no hospital bills. So anyway, they had this benefit, and then their 16-year-old son, which was their only other child, goes with his cousin, I think they said, to stay all night with him. You know, I'm going to go stay with my cousin, you know, and stayed all night with his cousin there, which was, I think, the Snapple man said was 20 years old. Anyway, they were in one of the, you know, one of the little towns there where they're around Paintsville, like I said, somewhere between there and West Liberty somewhere, that the tornado hit, and it literally, they said, sucked because of both, you know, just picked them up, sucked them up, and I mean, I guess they found them. I guess they found their bodies, but uh,
So it killed both of them. And now this family, a year to the day of losing their daughter, lost their son. So in a year, they've lost their 17-year-old daughter and a 16-year-old son. So guys, let's pray for that family. I mean, like I said, let's pray for all of them, but let's pray for that family specifically. I mean, that's you know, that's just hurt beyond belief. And we wonder, guys. I mean, I'm like everybody else. I wonder sometimes about things like this. You know, I wonder why God allows them to happen, and that kind of deal. But then on the other hand, you know, you got to say, well, for one thing, to be honest, and that's what one of the singers actually said yesterday at church. He was talking about tornadoes and a lot of these things getting worse, and he said, you know, he said, which I've seen it all my life. He said, you know, every now and then, he said, you know, especially in this world now, everybody's getting to where, well, they sing a song, and I think it was a Louvin Brothers song, if we forget God. You know, and it talks about in the song, you know, if we forget God, one of the lines, if we forget God, our nation is doomed. And he says, you know, every now and then, God does these things, you know, uh, just to say, hey, I'm still here. You know, I'm still God. You know, I'm still, you know, I've not gone anywhere. Uh, you know, you're supposed to be doing what I ask. You're supposed to be worshiping me. You were built to worship me. And now half of you or three-quarters of you don't even believe that I'm here. You know, I mean, you know, I hate to say that, guys, but you know, God, uh, he's a jealous God, and you know, He tells us that in the Word. Not meaning He's jealous of anything we've got or done. You know, Oprah, when she heard that, they said that Oprah that said that she couldn't believe in a God that would be jealous of her, and she thought it was in the context of jealous of what she had and everything. I guess because she was a billionaire and all this. You know, that God. No, when it talks in the Bible about God being a jealous God, that means He wants us to come to Him. He wants our attention. He wants us to worship Him. He don't want us to worship anything else. Whether that's sports, like me and Brother Woody talked about the other day. Guys, sports is destroying this country. I'm telling you. I see it on the front lines every day with the youth. And because it happens to the youth, it crawls into the parents. Sports is destroying this country. I'm telling you. It's pulling more people away from God than anything else I see, and I see a lot. But anyway, don't let that. I could talk for 15 minutes on that. I'm just saying, guys, when we forget about God, when we start, you know, we start living like there is no God, sometimes God has to say, all right, I've got to show you, you know, I've got to show you a little of my power. I've got to shake you up and remind you that I'm still here, you know, and I mean, that's just the truth. So anyway, guys, some people may see that as cruel or whatever. You know, guys, the truth is we don't deserve anything but death, hell, and punishment anyway. And that's the truth. You know, we've disobeyed God. Mankind has failed. We've all failed. We've all sinned against God, and we deserve everything He gives us. When we don't get punished by God, that's only because of His grace. And we need to remember that more. So anyway, guys, I know I've already did a lot of preaching tonight, but we're going to try to get into it pretty quick here. Um, Darren, brother, I'm glad that I know it was actually Andrea that messaged me this morning, but I'm glad you all did that.
I had some kind of internet problems last night. I don't know what it was, but I guess when I sent that email, my internet problem was rearing up and I didn't know it, and I hit it, and it pops up and it says email sent successfully, and you assume it's there, but so I'm glad that you did that, and I did email Andrea back. So like I said, brother, last night I just got to wait and see. I've not even talked to him about any of this. He just told me to price the stuff. So, like I said, he may have to charge it at the parts house. If we can, but if if he's got the money and everything, and we can buy it from you all, I'm going to do that. But I've not even I've got to call him tomorrow. It's going to cost him the same thing either way. I checked at the parts house today, and the parts house prices and Andrea's prices, they were within $10 of each other. So, and I know your guys' stuff is better stuff. So, but like I said, I just got to wait and see if he's got the money to pay cash for it or if he's going to charge it. So, anyway, like I said, if he charges it, and then I'll just have to go wherever he can charge it. I'll have to go to the parts house and get it. So, let's see, what else, guys? Normal stuff, guys. Just keep praying for us this week. Pray for me, guys, on a car. And I know this may be strange, but I've asked you guys this before. I've got, well, number one, I've got a Grand Am down there that I've got to try to disable the, well, not disable it, but you're bypassing it. Well, I guess same thing. The alarm system on a Grand Am. The pass lock sensor is tore up in it, and it's $230, and they can only spend $300 on the car total, and we've got to put wheel bearings in it, or at least one wheel bearing in it, and we're putting a wheel bearing in it. We just can't do all that for $300. So anyway, I found a thing on the internet where you use right here it is, a 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, anywhere in that neighborhood. This is a 2200 ohm resistor, and you put this in series in the wire that goes to the body control module that senses the pass lock sensor. And basically what you do, you take the pass lock sensor out of the loop and you replace it with this. That body control module just has to look, it looks for a memorized specific resistance in that circuit to let the car start. Well, the trick of it is, and I know that's what some of you mechanically inclined guys are thinking, well, when you cut that and put that in it, you're going to change the resistance, and I am going to change the resistance. But the deal is, once you change that resistance, you can reprogram the BCM to accept this resistance, and that's what I'm going to do. And actually, you don't have to do anything but turn the key on and let it sit 10 minutes with the key on, and it will actually go through a learning procedure, and it will actually remember whatever resistance it reads right then. So, anyway, guys, I've got to put this in that car. Everybody on the internet says this works, so pray for me, guys, that this will work for these people. But the car that I was really worried about, guys, I've got a Malibu down there. It's got a draw in it. I call them a battery drain, parasitic drain, and it's the worst I've ever seen. It's drawing a little over 2 amps, and really anything over 50 milliamps is a battery killer. This is a 2 amp draw. So it's 4 times bigger than even what is considered a pretty bad drain. So I checked it today for 3 or 4 hours, never could find it. Unplugged every fuse on the car, never did go away. I don't know. I'm thinking it may be something hardwired into the battery then, like an alternator, starter, something like that. So I'm going to check that tomorrow, guys. But pray for me on that car, guys, because number one, the woman that's got this car, she's a good Christian woman. She really is, and her family, they're good Christian people, guys. But I'm not going to lie about it. They're a little bit aggravating. They're the type that while you're working on their car, they'll call you every half hour till you get the car done. Is my car done? Is my car done? Is my car done? I need it. Is my car done? Is my car done? I need it. Is my car? Seriously, they're driving dad crazy. I mean, they're calling every half hour to an hour, wanting to know if the car's done. And dad keeps telling them, listen, when I get the car figured out, I'll call you. But that don't matter to them, like I said. So pray for me, guys. Pray that I can get this car figured out tomorrow, get it fixed, and get it back to these people. So, having said that, like I said, guys, normal stuff. Pray for the shop. We're pretty busy right now, so pray that that continues. Pray that we'll actually make money. Because, guys, I've been busy before and not made no money. Be honest about it. You can be busy. Some of you body guys probably know a little about that. You can be busy and still not making any money. So, being busy really don't help me any. I need to make money. So, anyway, pray for that, guys. Pray, like I said, that we sell that camper and that Ram Charger and things, because we need to so very bad. And I know that God can do it. I don't know how He's going to do it. Every person that's been interested in either one of them has fell through so far, but I know the Lord can do it. So pray for that, guys. So anyway, 1 Corinthians chapter 10. One more quick little thing, guys. If this guy does paint this Mustang, like I said, whether I use Durance paint or the Parts House paint, I'll just have to wait and see. But I'll get you some film on it. I'm going to be asking, I know, Darren and Milo and all these guys on it, because I'm going to have to do some stuff that I'm not sure about. Number one, I'm going to have to paint the rear spoiler on it. And the spoiler is, I'm pretty sure, plastic. And he rattle canned it, I think, once upon a time, and it's all cracked and coming off. So I'm going to have to get that down. And, I know I'm probably going to use Bulldog on it to get it to stick, but I'm not sure about really using that stuff. So I know I'm going to be asking you guys a lot. So be looking for those videos. Anyway, guys, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 28. Let's go. But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols, eat not for his sake that shoot it, and for conscience sake, for the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. Conscience, I say, not thine own, but of the other, for why is my liberty judged of another man's conscience? Basically what he's saying here, guys, he's saying, why am I being judged because of something somebody else done here? If I can't eat this and I can't partake in this, why am I being judged, or why am I being punished for somebody else's decision? Now let's keep reading here, guys. For if I by grace be a partaker, why am I evil spoken of for that which I give thanks? Whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of God. What he's saying here, guys, these things, like in this day, that was a big thing, was people sacrificing, killing animals and eating them, but doing it unto false gods. And that was a big deal, and that's what he's saying here. Whatever you do it to the glory of God. There's a song on K-Love, about that. Whatever you do it to the glory of the one that made you. That's us. And when what he's saying here, when you do something like that, you're not doing it to the glory of God. They didn't do it to the glory of God. So we need to do everything we can to the glory of God, guys. Everything. We need to give God the glory for everything. Give none offense, neither to the Jews, nor to the Gentiles, nor to the church of God. Even as I please all men in all things, not seeking my own profit, he's saying, but the profit of many, that they may be saved. He said, guys, I'm telling you this. I'm not telling you this to please men. He said, I'm not doing this for my own profit or for my own gain. I'm telling you this to see people saved, to see souls saved. Same way I say at church, guys. And let me finish reading here and I'll go on to that. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Now I praise you, this is going on in chapter 11, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. For that is even all one, as if she were shaven. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to throw that in there to get enough verse. What I was talking about there was what I was trying to get at there. Let me get back to where I'm at, guys. Make sure I don't lose my place here. Yeah, well, anyway, real quick, what I was going to talk about there, guys. Paul was saying, I have to tell you guys this, whether it's good, whether people like to hear it or not, whether it makes me popular or not, whether it's for my own profit or not. And guys, with God's work, in a world that hates God, in a world that most people are turned away from God, you're not going to be popular for that. You're not going to gain for that. That's why I always say, you look at a church, guys, and don't just think this because, I've always thought this. Don't just think this because I pastor a small church and all that. Guys, and I'm not saying all big churches are bad and they're doing something wrong, but most big churches, guys, you look at them. There's a reason why that many people want to congregate to this one place. There's a reason for that, and usually it's because they're not preaching the word. They're not preaching straight from the Bible. They're tickling ears. Like the Bible tells us in the last days, there would be a lot of people tickling ears, and we'd see that. There would be people going to church to see what, they want to go because they want blessings from God. They want cars, and they want houses, and they want promotions, and they want money. And God blesses us every day, guys, but that can't be the reason we go to church. That can't be the reason we serve God, is to see what we can get from Him. And what I'm trying to say is, guys, when you see these big churches like that prosper, a lot of people say, oh, well, if something prospers, it has to be of God. Because if it's not of God, He won't let it prosper. Really? Really? As Tommy Shoe says, really? No, guys, that's not what I've seen. There's a lot of things on this earth that prosper without God being in it. And if you'll think about it for a minute, you'll know that that's right. These prosperity pimps, these TV evangelists, that all they do is hook. You guys look at them and oh yeah, well yeah, they they're just on there to try to get the money. Trailing around $20 million jets, and living in $10 million homes, and their ministries prosper. They've got all the money. They've got 10,000 people churches, 20,000 people churches. And blatantly looking at them, they're not of God. So what I'm trying to say is, guys, and that it wasn't really my point I was getting at. My point is what I was getting at. And that's like some of the people in the church have told me. And they've come out, I think they could see maybe me getting discouraged sometimes when we don't have many people in that. And they've actually come up to me and said, brother, don't get discouraged, because you're doing what God wants you to do the way He wants it done. You preach straight from the Bible. You don't hold any punches, And yeah, that may hurt some people sometimes, and that may, like I've said before, if that cuts you, you need a Bible Band-Aid. That may not be popular with bringing people in here, but one day when I stand before the Lord, He's going to judge me on what I did, how I've preached, and I don't want Him to say, well, here, you bent the truth, you changed my word around to make people feel good so they'd fill your church up. I don't want Him to say that to me. If I'm stuck with a 10-person church for the rest of my life, that's going to have to be. That's fine. That's God's will for me if that's what it be. I'm not going to tickle people's ears. Just like, guys, last year, if you guys remember the big church in Texas, it was even on the news. Down there around Corpus Christi somewhere, big old huge church. And they were giving stuff away on Easter to get people in there. And they were giving give away like 20 big screen TVs, these gift baskets to everybody that come that were worth like $100 a piece or more. They give away like a Mercedes Benz and a BMW. They give, of course, like I said, it's a big, huge church, but they give away like $200,000 or $300,000 worth of stuff, maybe more than that, maybe $500,000 or $1 million worth of stuff. They give away to get people in there to try to get that church bigger and grow. Guys, you can't do that. You can't bribe people to come to church. I've even, and I don't mean to harp on people, and I know this video's long, guys, but I got to finish this out. There was even a church in our county here that last year, my nephew went to church one Sunday with one of his friends, and he was talking about, said, yeah, my buddy wants me to go to church. They're having a contest. Whoever brings the most people into church wins a gas card, like a $50 gas card or $100 gas card or something. Which I know that's not near to the extreme of like trying to give Mercedes and things away to get people to come. But still, guys, that's doing it a little bit. It's like I've said, I could get out here and do crazy stuff and get people into church. I could give away money and gift cards and, if I had it, to get people into church. But guys, you got to have people that are wanting to be there to serve God and honor God and to be there for the right reason. I don't want people there that are there to get rich. People there that are there to win something. I want people there that are seeking God. So anyway, guys, hope you've got something out of this tonight. I love you all. Good Lord willing, guys, I'll be here tomorrow night. If you need anything, let me know. Remember to pray for me. And I guess till I see you guys again, good night. God bless. Oh, one more thing, Darren. What do I got to do to get one of them Matrix hats? I see everybody else wearing them. I want one. So let me know what I got to do, how much they are or whatever. I want one. So anyway, good night and God bless, guys.